Hey everyone, my name's Sydney. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are getting into the book content that everybody has been waiting for. We are getting into my favorite books of all time. I feel like you can really tell about a person by their favorite books, so that's what we're doing today, and it's a bit of a further introduction into who I am, what I like to read. These books I obviously am going to be recommending 100 times. These books will probably be making future appearances in other videos because they're just so good and I think everybody should read them. So we're going to get into what the books are. I'm going to get into the plot of each of them. Also, we're going to talk about tropes and all that fun stuff to do with books, and I'm really excited. So without further ado, let me tell you about all my favorite books. Alright, so the first book is my favorite book of all time. This sits number one at my list, and that is A Thousand White Kisses by Tillie Cole. It does give middle school vibes. It does. And the title really does give middle school vibes, and honestly some of the content does too, but if you get past all of that, you have a beautiful, beautiful story. So this book is about Rune and Poppy, and they are each other's first everythings and each other's first loves. Later down the road, she ends up actually cutting him off, and we don't know why. We find out that in the story, but 2 years later, they rekindle their relationship, and we find out why she sort of cut him off in that way. This is a beautiful story about their romance and about resilience and how love truly does conquer all and how the root of everything is love. And I think this is a beautiful story that just encompasses all of those aspects. I think once you get through the middle school unicorn fluff, then it becomes a beautiful story, and the analogies about how we should be living life to the fullest is beautiful. I just think you need to give this book a chance. It made me ugly sob, which is interesting because I don't usually sob when I read, which is actually even more interesting because I cry in every aspect of my life, no matter the emotion. I think one day I'll film a video of the books that made me cry, so stay tuned for that one. But anyways, so this is my favorite book of all time, and I just want to put them in my pocket. I love them so much. All right, and the next book I actually don't have the physical copy of because I read it on my Kindle, but it is The Summer of Broken Rules. This book is so good if you want a good summer romance, and if you want the summer vibes to be really high. I read for vibes, so I loved it so much. So this book is based off of Whit and Meredith. They both are included in this wedding. So Meredith's cousin's wedding, it takes place at Martha's Vineyard. Whit is the groomsman of the groom, obviously. They end up having a beautiful friendship, and actually Meredith's sister passed away in the story. So it's kind of just also dealing with and grappling with like the family's emotions of losing a loved one, and there's also a beautiful underlying message to the story. There's a big plot twist. I didn't think that there was going to be a plot twist, but there was in this book. It was so good. Did not see it coming. It's wonderful. And this book is amazing for Swifties. So if you're a Swiftie, I'd read this book. And I'd read it anyways. It's just so good. I love it so much. And then our next book, which is probably my most tabbed book in my library, on my bookshelf, I don't know. And that's Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This book is so good. When I read it, I was actually ginger, which is not my natural hair color. I am a natural blonde, but I was ginger when I read this book, and so I was picturing myself as the main character. It was wonderful. She is me, I'm her. I love her so much. So this follows Liz and Wes. It's a bit of an enemies to lovers, but they're not really ever enemies. He's kind of just always like teasing her. It's a fun little relationship they have. Liz starts liking another guy and gets Wes to help her with trying to get this guy to like her. Obviously that's with like fake dating and all of that. A nice, good trope-filled book. This book is also perfect for Swifties. All of my pink tabs are Taylor Swift references. I would pick this up if you're into that. I loved it so much. I just really give it a chance. This book kind of took Book Talk by storm. Sometimes Book Talk has good recommendations, sometimes it doesn't. It really just depends on your taste, but this, everybody I've seen read this book, they love it. So I would pick this one up as well. Right, and next, a hockey romance actually, which doesn't actually seem that surprising for me. It's The Mistake by Elle Kennedy. So this is the second book of the Off-Campus series. So the first book is The Deal. I honestly kind of had to force myself to read The Deal. I gave it 3 stars. I really didn't like it that much, but this book is way better. I obviously gave it 5 stars, but this book is so good. I journaled in this one. If I really like a book, I would literally write a journal entry in it. So this book follows John Logan and Grace. I feel like Grace is me with blonde hair. And basically one day he accidentally knocks on her dorm room door and then they instantly click and form a connection. And then something happens where, not talking, she forms a list that he has to do in order for her to get back together with him. So it's a second chance romance. You'll find out very quickly that second chance romances are my favorite and it's my favorite trope. But this book is just so cute. I love the found family aspect of his hockey team and the people that he lives with. I think it's so cute the way that they all interact together, and I just think this book is amazing. And if you have the chance, you definitely should read it. It's amazing. All right, the next book is by my favorite author, Miss Emily Henry. This is Happy Place. I think this is honestly my only hardcover book. I literally think this is my only hardcover book. Her book covers are just so cute. I seriously love them so much. So this book is another second chance romance. This follows Harriet and Wynne. Harriet and Wynne were perfect for each other. They were engaged. They were the perfect couple. Everybody said how amazing they fit together. And then one day we find out that they break up. But their friend group actually put together a vacation for all of them, and Harriet and Wynne never told their friends that they broke up. So they go on this vacation and have to pretend to still be together. So it's still like a fake dating kind of situation, but they're also trying to grapple with how their relationship ended. All the fun stuff of a second chance romance that I love is in this book, and it just has such a deep meaning as well. I journaled in this one too. It's about finding belonging in other people and also finding belonging in yourself and in places, and it's just a beautiful read, and I think that you should. There's been a lot of praise for this on Book Talk as well. So this book is more of a recent read. This was actually my first book of this year, and it is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. This book is so good. It takes place at a summer camp, which is why I picked it up in the first place, because I used to work in a summer camp. I just loved feeling the connection that way. So this follows Russ and Aurora. I actually love the name choices. Basically, they have a one-night stand, and then they find out that they're working at the same summer camp where they're not allowed to date, they're not allowed to do anything. They can just strictly be platonic friends. And then they obviously choose not to do that. So this is their story, them working at a summer camp, but also their relationship. And I just love this book so much because it just re-solidified my wonderful feelings about camp and how I love summer camp. If you want a forced proximity kind of second chance, this is also a book for you. The next one is Archer's Voice. This book, I think the reason why it's one of my favorites of all time is the memories associated with it. I read this book in one sitting. Literally sat down on my bed, started it at 4, finished it at like 10 or 11. Literally read it in one sitting. I think I also read it between watching hockey periods of a hockey game that I was really scared to watch. It was so wonderful. This follows Archer and Bree, and Archer is mute because of an accident, and we find out what that accident is about in the story. And she moves to this small town, and she's the only one that can communicate with him. And it's just a beautiful story of the love and connection you can have with somebody even if you guys aren't speaking. I just thought it was absolutely beautiful, and it just adds to the element that I read it in one sitting. And I think that just makes a book automatically better. All right, and the last book we have, another second chance romance, of course, and that is Love in Other Words by the one and only, actually not one because they're two authors, but Christina Lauren. This book is so good. Another second chance, another friends to lovers. This follows Macy and Elliot, and they are again each other's first everything, each other's first kiss, first love, everything. This sort of follows a past and present timeline, so it shows their past relationship and how it grew from the very beginning, and then how they rekindled their relationship 10 years later after not speaking. It's another amazing read and another just beautiful love story. I again tabbed this one quite a bit, and I just think the cover is so cute. I love all of these covers. They're so cute. Very good story, and I would recommend it to everyone. All right, so that was all of my favorite books. I hope that you enjoyed this little list. I hope that you got kind of more of an insight into what I read. Very romance based, but I am gonna try and get into fantasy. So be prepared for fantasy reading blogs. I got a lot of Sarah J. Maas over there, so keep your notifications on when you subscribe. to my channel. But yeah, please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like this video, and comment what you want to see from me as well. I very much enjoyed yapping to you guys, and I can't wait to further go along this journey with you guys. Okay, love you all, and have a great day or night or whatever time of day it is. Love you.